What is going on, everybody? This is Brandon.
This is Verno.
Welcome back to Crisis on Infinite Rants. This is a show we take a comic book conversation. We just talk about it. That's literally what it is. Sometimes it's a heavy topic, sometimes it's more fun. Today's a pretty fun topic. We are going to be creating a Marvel Cinematic Universe themed amusement park. So, like, everybody's been to Disney World, hopefully, or everyone's heard of Disney World or Disneyland. People have heard of like different amusement parks all over the world. Our job today is to build one using some like the Easter eggs in the MCU. Verno, thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing, brother?
I am doing fantastic, man. I've been running around like a chicken with his head cut off. So hopefully we come up with some brilliant stuff here, my friend, because I haven't had much time to think about this. And to be honest, never been to Disney World, bro. Never been anywhere other than crappy little carnivals around my my hometown here. What up to Nick in the chat, Mrs. Chamara? What's going on?
What's going on? Yeah, we got Travis in here. What's going on? Who had a great show today with Brother Joe. We had Miss Tomorrow in here. And he also had a good video today. Came out early in the morning. Talked about the 1990 Guardians of the Galaxy. And then we got Nick in here, who's always doing double duty on Wednesdays. Now he's doing triple duty because he's making dinner. And I believe that's it. We're caught up in the chat. If anyone else is here, make sure you guys say what's up. You guys are welcome to take part in the conversation. So I was thinking, like, when you first walk in, could be kind of like in a SHIELD headquarters. You know, like how when we were in the first Avengers movie, that's where we started.
Right.
Was at a SHIELD base. So I kind of thought that would be pretty dope. It's good landscape, you know. At first I thought New York, but then I was like, if people just want to go to New York, they can just go there. So at least a SHIELD like base. It's kind of cool.
SHIELD's base would be dope. Maybe like Tony Stark's place. At least like his work area where he's got all the Iron Man set up, or that would definitely have to be a spot in the place somewhere.
Well, yeah, like there would be like a helicarrier, like because we're on a SHIELD base, we can have a helicarrier, and you know, like Tony's had his stuff on a helicarrier before, so
right, for sure.
I thought that was pretty dope. We got Brother Joe in here, who is also on Travis's show. So if you guys have not caught that replay, Brother Joe, man, he just does what he does. He's awesome. I love Brother Joe.
Brother Joe.
That's a big Herm says. Who has a show coming up tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time? We're gonna be heading over there. This is, I guess, the lead-in show. So after this, we got Fable, Link, and Herm are gonna be on later tonight talking about Battlestar Galactica and a bunch of comic books. So nice. I guess it would be cool on the SHIELD base too, because you can kind of see like all the redacted files. Like there was always like that part of the amusement park that's just like a walkthrough. You get to see cool shit. So I guess like that would be cool to see some SHIELD files. I was thinking for a few rides. I think one of them, obviously involving Thanos, you can have a ride called Thanos Quest, because that was a pretty popular series.
Right. Let me ask you, my friend, because I said I have never been to Disney World. Have you been? You've been to Disney World first off?
Yeah.
Have you been to like the Harry Potter?
Yeah, well, I've been to Universal. Yeah.
Okay.
So the way that's set up is you basically walk in through platform 9 3/4 and you take a train over.
See, that's brilliant.
Which is brilliant. Like really dope. But we got Eric in here. What's going on?
And
then you go off to Diagon Alley, and they have like they have Hogsmeade there too.
That's awesome.
You can get a butterbeer, and then you go to the castle, but like you can see the castle at like the same angle that like when they shoot it like over the trees, like kind of like how it's like in the horizon, like to the left. I don't know, but if anyone's a Harry Potter fan, you know what I'm talking about.
No, that's awesome. The other thing I was gonna ask you, like, what just to get some base here, because I've never talked to you about the MCU. What's like your favorite either movie or like character? Just so like I'm curious, like what would you be most interested in seeing, like as far as like a character focused on? You know what I mean?
Well, see, what I would be most interested in is obviously like all the SHIELD gimmicks, seeing all the SHIELD files, because you know that kind of a way to incorporate some agents of SHIELD. You know, Nick Fury kind of has like everything. Anyway, so you can kind of throw in the Tesseract. You can throw in like the box he has, where he keeps all the files. So I would be really interested to like see a lot of Winter Soldier Easter eggs the most. Like I would love to see the Triskelion. It's kind of like the gift shop, you know, or like kind of like the museum, you know, like however every place you go to has a gift shop, right? Some big place, right? Even when you go down to DC at the mall, right by Abraham Lincoln, the gift shop, which that's like 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes for me, so I know about it. So
nice. Never been.
What about you, Vernon? What would you be most excited to look through?
I mean, honestly, I'm a basic bitch. If I can cuss on your show lightly, I mean, the Tony Stark stuff would obviously be
the
awesome.
suits.
Just seeing all the suits, right? Tony
Right.
suits, stuff like that. Just an Asgard section would be
That would
super
be
dope,
so dope. Like you can like kind of take the Rainbow Bridge there.
right?
Or
Yeah,
like
that
you
would be
enter
really
through the
really cool.
Bifrost, you go across the bridge. That would be so dope, like it, you can like walk through a tunnel that's like feels like you're going through the Bifrost, but it's like like how in airports they have like those horizontal like escalators.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be so dope. You're like riding
That would be
across, like you
cool.
have like the Bifrost like coming through.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no,
That
I
would
would
be
love that.
dope. And then you walk across the Rainbow Bridge,
I
and
mean,
then
the more I think about it, I mean, yeah, this would be super badass. Like, there's all the different sections. Here's just listed off like top of my head, like the stuff you got to have. You said Shield's headquarters, Tony's place, Asgard, Guardians of the Galaxy ship for sure,
that could be at the Shield
Wakanda.
base though. Oh yeah, Wakanda would be dope. I feel like
You would. Why would you
Wakanda.
want it all at the Shield base? That would just be your entrance. You would want to park that at the Shield base.
I mean, then like it could be like that's weird because like how I'm not trying to be so far fetched because I know some rides have some crazy transportation systems.
Right.
So it's like you could get on board and it's like some ride could like lead you like you're gonna be on like a ship, but then drop you at another part of the like
Right.
the ride,
And I'm
right?
just thinking, like the places where you go, you could have like Jarvis giving you directions to places, the Jarvis voice.
Oh
Take a
yeah,
ride on this path. Exit the ride right here. You know, that kind of a thing
kind of
would
like
be
as you're
dope.
waiting in line for like Tony's place, or
Right.
like you're exploring it. Yeah, that would be so. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Or like at the Shield headquarters, you can have like Alexander Pierce like talking over the intercom or something, or like Jasper Sitwell. We got
I've never watched the Agents of Shield show. I could tell you have. I
well,
don't know.
Jasper was in the movie. He was in Winter Soldier. What's going on, Manny? We got Manny in here. We got Bobby in here, and brother Joe, and we got Fable in here. I saw him earlier. There he is. There's the man of the hour.
Can I call Steph out? I'm gonna call Steph out for bailing on us. Steph,
Yeah,
missing link, supposed to be here. I just
supposed to
want to
be
give
right
him some
here.
crap. Supposed to be somewhere, but he's not. But I just wanted to call him out.
It's all right. We love him anyway.
We
We
do.
love him anyway. He probably got caught up with the kiddo, which is all right. He'll catch. He's been on every show, so I can't blame him for missing one. But what else is pretty essential? Like Wakanda would be dope. The only thing about Wakanda is I think that it would lack a lot of imagination because we really have not seen a lot of Wakanda yet.
I mean, we've got the basic aesthetic of Wakanda. You know what I mean? I mean, they could just have. There's obviously the palace, which is going to be pretty big. You might, it depends on how much they would be able to devote to it. But even like the marketplace that you see in Wakanda, that could be like a nice little gift shop type center that looks
Right,
like the
they're kind of like
marketplace.
restaurants and stuff.
Right,
Kind of
right. I
like
mean,
bringing a diverse food kind of
for
thing.
sure. I mean, just the color scheme that you see in the Black Panther movie and in Wakanda. You know what I mean? That would be a pretty dope section of the story or of the
Right.
place.
Thinking about it now, I didn't want a New York theme, but I think you kind of need one, especially with Stark Tower. You would definitely have to have shawarma. You would definitely have to have that shawarma
Right.
joint.
That's a good one right there for sure. A shawarma restaurant. And
Right
plus
there.
you could have the shawarma restaurant, you could have the sandwich shop that Peter Parker goes to. That's
Yeah,
got the
yeah, like
cat
in
there.
Queens. Yeah, that'd be dope. But it's like, we're in New York, so we can have Queens and like Brooklyn be right exactly like right next to each other.
Right.
It'd be like a 5-minute walk. It doesn't have to be like
That's
25
funny.
miles.
They'd fool me. I wouldn't know the difference. I'd be
I
like,
mean, in the Bronx, you're gonna get more seafood, and you're gonna get like more Jewish places, more Italians. At least when I went, it was like all Italian and Jewish food. But yeah, Eric says, can we just get a badass Silver Surfer? I mean, he is in the MCU now, but it's not a movie. Yeah, I would really want to do that. Riding the Cosmos, I have to say, we still have to go with Thanos Quest. You know that ride where like you spin and like the whole like chair just like spins around, but like the ride spinning too.
Right.
It's like that cup thing, or like we can do that with the Infinity Gauntlet. Like everyone sits in the Infinity Gauntlet and it just spins.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know.
I'm thinking Doctor Strange stuff.
That'd be in New York.
That would be, yes, dude, just to have the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh, I would
Would
get all
be
giddy
dope.
about that. Keaton has all the relics, and I love Doctor Strange.
But even like with the ride, or maybe you could make it into like almost like a horror or a haunted house type thing where you've got I'm blanking on it now. What's
Caecilius and like Dormammu.
Well, that other dimension, the mirror dimension.
The mirror dimension. Yo.
That would be something like if you're going through a ride and like, you've got all the video elements around you, all mirror dimensioning out.
What up, Herm? Yeah,
Big
dude, that would be
harm.
so dope. I'm just thinking about it now. I'm like, ooh, I would prepare myself before going in.
Oh, let me ask, have you been to the Star Wars one? That's at
Yeah, when
Disney?
I was a kid, not at Galaxy Edge, but when they were like kind of getting all warmed up, there was like a little. I remember there was a little staging area where you can like fight Darth Vader with obviously plastic swords. There'd be a presentation. I guess if we were still in New York, it would be dope to kind of like do that with Loki. You'd have like Chitauri around, and then you can
That
like
would be
go to the
cool.
right, and you can like ride the big one. Wait, that
Right.
sounded weird.
See,
Like ride the big Chitauri.
yeah, no, for sure. That would, or even just, I mean, they do so much stuff because going into this, I wasn't even really thinking about it. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's like rides and stuff. You can tell I've never been to one of these, but they do so much with like video element where
Right.
you're just
That's all
on a
rides are
standard roller
nowadays.
coaster, and they could put you in any environment that you want just with the video element. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, thinking about that, that's a great point because when I was growing up, wow, this can make you feel really old, Verno. You ready?
I'm ready.
So when I was growing up, I went to this place called Kennywood. If anyone's local to Pittsburgh, you know that area, or Ohio rather. It's in Pittsburgh, but right outside. But there's it used to be like all like old fashioned rides, right? Like just roller coasters. But when you go to amusement park, they do a lot of videology. When I went to Universal, like doing the Fast and Furious ride, like Hobbs and Shaw were talking to you.
Right. That'd be cool.
Like
Yeah.
you were literally in the middle of a fight scene, and it's like the ride was a car.
They could do stuff with like the Tony hologram that you see at the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
With that, have like Tony talking to you, telling you he loves you 3,000, breaking your little heart.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be a ride if we ever went down to Malibu, just like or from Tony's Tony's mansion, the Stark Tower rather. That'd be cool just to like fly one of the suits like the videology Tony like taking you. But I don't know if I would like that because I would feel like MODOK because everyone would be so wide, and I feel like MODOK has like a wide vision. I don't know. I feel like MODOK has no peripheral vision, so I don't know how much I would not like.
No, I mean the possibilities are endless. I'm just like, as we're talking, I'm thinking of a billion things. Like all the stuff from WandaVision, you could have like their house from WandaVision, just like
even just like the aesthetics of like the neighborhood would
right.
just work. It doesn't have to be the exact location. WandaVision would be dope, but like I guess that would be like another place, just like go eat. Everything would.
Right. Well, you could have like a whole section that's just like MCU on Disney Plus, where you just walk through different like environments that we've seen on Disney Plus. I guess Hawkeye is another bit that would be in New York to add to that.
Yeah. I guess you can do something with like arrows, or like you can make like a roller coaster, like probably like Kingpin's Revenge or something, or that would be dope because now Kingpin's there, right? Kind of like all Kingpin, Dark Alley themed. You can get like some Hawkeye stuff in there. A lot of times they do like 4-dimensional like videos, like 4D videos or stuff. Like you feel everything. I think that would be dope. Where was I going with this? I think that would be dope from Doctor Strange too, because you get to see everything.
I was just
that also be a great what if kind of thing.
Hell yeah. Speaking of what if, this is totally random, but I just want to throw this in there. I saw this and it's like, dude, that would make the awesomest what if episode. Is what if all the Avengers, everybody that blipped in Infinity War, what if it was the opposite people that blipped instead? Everybody that blipped live, and the opposite people have to do like the end game stuff and save the world. Just throwing that out there for a what if episode. It's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, that would be dope. I would be down for that. Yo, we got You Promised Me Comics in here. What's going on? They have an interview tonight. I forget the time, but I'm sure you guys will figure that out. And Jeremy, if you wanted to comment that down below. What else could we do? What else is in New York? You have the Sang Santorum. You have WandaVision. You could do a Hulk ride, but I don't know if Sony would want that.
That's a good point.
Manny says a WandaVision restaurant with dishes from different eras, seating and themed with different television.
That's awesome.
Manny, do you want the link? You probably have a Bible about this. I guarantee you, Manny's the type of person to sit there and actually think about this stuff. Manny, do you want to go on the show?
Trying to think, yeah, what else is in New York? Obviously, we said all the Spidey stuff. They're in New York quite a bit. I mean, Stark Tower, but then you start thinking about these things, and you can't make them like to scale. You can't have Stark Tower next to the Sanctum Sanctorum, like, you know what I mean? Or else it would just be a New York themed park. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why we got to go to that's why we got to go to Asgard. If we're going to Asgard, think about Vogelstag being in the dining room. That'd be dope. Just seeing the big old Vogels.
Or I mean, also you could have like the bit like with Thor's hammer. You
Yeah.
prove yourself worthy, and you get to pick it up. You
Yeah,
fail the
that'd be
test,
dope.
and you don't, kind of a thing.
That'd be dope. They have a Days of Future Past themed restaurant where the prices are set back to 1980. Yo, that I don't think that restaurant would be in business. My wallet would love that. Avengers Academy, Stinks Savior. I know Avengers Academy came out like with Christos Gage back in like 2011 or something. I know I bought it from Amazon, read it, didn't like it, returned it back the next day for a full refund.
Never been.
That was the biggest scheme. What up, Roscoe?
Roscoe.
What would be dope? Seeing Shang-Chi, like from the Sanctum Sanctorum, we can kind of like use the thing, the thing.
That's one of the cool things about all the, you know what I mean? They're trying to make the MCU as international as possible. Like just all of the different aesthetics going from Asgard to Wakanda to the Shang-Chi aesthetic. I mean, that's another no-brainer for sure.
Right. And even like going to like that club that they were in, kind of like as a bar, like kind of like a party place, that would be dope too. Or even there could be a place in Stark's Tower for parties, because we had one with Maria Hill.
That's like one of my favorite scenes in the entirety of the MCU, when they're all standing around trying to pick up Thor's hammer. I don't know why. I've always loved that so much.
Well, because they were shit talking each other, and then none of them were able to do it.
It's just that laid back hangout vibe that you get in that scene.
Right. We would need to have an Ultron ride.
Definitely.
I think that would be dope. Another dope thing that we could do with Stark Towers, you can definitely do kind of like a Ultron takeover thing where like you're walking, but all of a sudden, like as you're in line, like Ultron comes on, and you just like get on the ride and you're chasing Ultron.
Man, he's projecting. He's specking now that
Krakoa I put random Krakoa gates around and say no. When it gets some.
That's funny.
Did you pick up Sabretooth today?
I did, but I didn't read it. So
I didn't read it yet either.
Dude, I don't know. Where are you at again? Where do you live?
Maryland.
State? Where?
Maryland.
Did you guys get crazy snow? I've got like 13 feet of snow outside of my house.
I had 50-degree weather. I got to play basketball today.
I was supposed to like be at a training thing. I was supposed to pick up my comics today. I was like, yep, no way that's happening. So I just I bought 10 Deaths of Wolverine issue number 2 or 10 Lives, whatever it was. I bought that online, and that's the only comic that I've read for the week.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was good. I mean, I liked it. A lot of people have been hating on it. It's convoluted. I've got a video up right now if you guys want to check it out after the show. But it's all over the place. It's like in 10 different time zones. It starts all these threads and it doesn't finish any of them. So it's kind of a setup issue. But I thought it was pretty fun.
I'll have to check it out. I mean, I'm going to anyway. I picked it up.
Right.
We need to have Shang-Chi as a dragon. We got that. We could also have a sushi place there, some hibachi there, some good restaurants there.
Oh, that's
brilliant. Think culturally speaking, this would be a great idea. Instead of like the Avengers Park, they need to like upgrade. A shawarma, we went over shawarma. That would be dope too. And
is that what they have now? They have like an Avengers Park?
Yeah, it's in Disney World. I know Sif Lordley and a few other people went. Yeah, I would like a Polaris kissing booth.
The dead celestial. Hell yeah. I mean, that's kind of what just from the pictures that I've seen of Galaxy's Edge and the Star Wars park, there's just a bunch of stuff that isn't even rides. It's just you walk by and it's like, oh, there's the Millennium Falcon. Oh, there's this droid and that droid. So just like that, like I would get a kick out of just walking around and just seeing stuff like that.
Just like different like costumes, different this. And that'd be dope for the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, right? That'd be kind of a cool thing for the Triskelion, being on the helicarrier. Another thing you could do, you could like kind of build your own S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, or you can like do like a simulation where you're like a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Or you can build your own Iron Man suit. That would be sick.
That would be.
Imagine building, if you could build your own Iron Man suit, what would you put? Like what would be like some of the quips you had?
Nipples. Definitely, I would add nipples to the Iron Man suit. I think it's lacking. It's been lacking for a long time, and I think we all know it.
I had nipples like metal cones. Like, so if someone tried to like chest bump you, like they usually do with Iron Man, for some reason, everyone wants to chest bump Iron Man. You just have two pointy things just going into their chest.
No, I don't know. What would you go with?
I
Anything
don't
stick
know.
out to you? There's also the Spider-Man suit because we've seen Spidey now build his own suit and
I'm
design
not the biggest fan of like Tony's nanotech. I kind of like the simpler designs, like in Iron Man 2,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I really like the idea of that one suit that kind of had like it was kind of like a knife at the end, but it was like sharper
Oh
and
yeah,
kind of longer. It's like that gray suit.
from Infinity. Well, that's the you're talking about the Infinity War one. That's the nanotech where it's like growing and doing stuff. And
No, not that one. It was in Iron Man 3. He never like piloted it, but I like the
from
stealth
the
one.
party
I would
protocol
definitely have a stealth suit though. I would definitely do that.
for sure.
I mean, I'm not of age to drink it. I have 30 days until I am, but I would definitely use that to get into a bar. I would get in there. I wouldn't say anything about actually like drinking, but
Exactly, TM. That's why that's the best Batman movie is the one with the nipples, whichever one
Kevin
that was.
Smith, the voice of MODOK, that would be dope. I don't know if I would want Kevin Smith in the New York aspect, considering what he did to Daredevil, but okay.
Heyo.
Would it count as a ride to take the elevator and shield if it have a secret Hydra agent try to beat the crap out of you? I can do this all day. No, that'd be dope. I would be down for that.
Got the Ant-Man stuff. Oh, that would be something where you could just again they would have to use video elements to make you feel small, or make you feel big, or you could just walk into somewhere that has giant objects. But that might be kind of tricky. See, all these things take up so much room. You know what I mean? It'd have to be like its own huge park.
You know, it wouldn't be that hard to do is do like we said earlier, the Star-Lord ship, but like with the music, and you're just like going through space. You can kind of see all the different people. You can see the scrolls. You can even like, let's say you look to the left and you see Captain Marvel. Look to the right and you gotta go wipers. You can do a lot of fun stuff. You can like even put Taserface in there.
No, definitely. Definitely.
I
would. That's like my favorite ship in the whole thing. Trying to think of other heroes.
I'm like, no one else needs a ship. They just fly.
Right. There's not many. I mean, there's what the hell's the?
It would be like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids at Universal. I did. Yeah, that would be dope.
What's the damn plane called? Their plane. Quinjet. The Quinjet.
Yeah, the Quinjet. That would be dope to do kind of like an over tour of New York. Would count as a ride. We saw that earlier. Sorry.
What's the place where Thor goes in Ragnarok that looks like it's all Jack Kirby'd out? You know what I'm talking about? It's got the devil's anus. Just to have somewhere that had that Kirby aesthetic, that like very blatant Kirby aesthetic would be cool. You can even
do that with Eternals. Like some like the overshots you can do with the Eternals. That would be dope, Like we said earlier, going inside the Celestial's head and kind of seeing like, because that is technically a future Avengers mansion in today's comics. But even at the Shield headquarters, you can even have like a comic book like archive section. That would be so sick. You can have like, that's where you would put all your shirts, all your other stuff. That would be dope. And then you can also do the Quinjet and all that. They had a jungle gym thing for sure. Honey Shrunk the Kids. Yeah. I remember seeing that. It was at Disney World for a while, but then it moved to Universal, I think. But I remember at Universal, they had a Hulk ride because Sony owns the rights, so technically it could be at Universal.
And what was it like?
It was weird because it was like all like gamma radiation. You went up into this roller coaster, you saw like, it was like building that, like, you're getting infected with the gamma radiation, and the ride was just insane. You went underwater at one point.
Really?
Well, like you didn't like get wet.
This is like my initial thought when you mentioned this to me earlier. Like I said, I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of time to actually think about this before we got on. But my initial thought was like, oh, they could like put you. You remember the Batman ride at Six Flags? Yeah. Where it was like you were like, I think you were like leaning down and you're zipping through stuff, but like to just get in like an Iron Man suit. And then they're zipping you on a roller coaster, but I don't know, that wouldn't be very comfortable. You know what I mean? But it would be cool just to like be in an Iron Man suit on a roller coaster zipping around.
You know what would be dope is like they made you think like you were picking up Mjolnir, like, but when you would like reach down, feel like you would touch it with like their visual effects, you would pick it up and it like lift you and just take you off. That would be a dope ride.
Yeah.
That would be another like dope kind of tour of Asgard. You know, even like kind of like overseeing like some of these movies. You can like they can have like a movie of the week feature. You just go in and watch a movie. What else are we missing? We covered Ant-Man, Doctor Strange.
Manny talking smack about the Eternals. You just
Eternals
be walking around with super boring characters. They grow on me a little bit. A little bit they did grow on me after watching it the second time. Did you like Eternals?
I liked Eternals. I like the visuals. I kind of like the young talent that they had in the movie, and then Angelina Jolie kind of brought a good veteran experience. I'm excited for what it was. It felt really standalone-ish, but it's like at the end of the day, thinking about it now, it's almost like who cares?
Right.
I like it.
Did you see it in the theater, or did you just see it when it came out on Disney?
I saw it in the theaters.
Right. Okay. I saw it the first time. I was like, this is terrible. I thought it was awful. I hated all the characters. Then the second time, I'm like, oh, it was okay, and I kind of like a lot of the characters. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those. I think a lot of people that are really hating on it and didn't like the characters at all. Don't get me wrong, they weren't great, but a second watch does kind of like get you to enjoy them a little bit more. You connect with them a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think they knocked it out of the park by any means. Yeah. And I think Angelina Jolie was kind of wasted in it. She died, right? Spoiler alert.
No,
she didn't die.
She wasn't the one that died. She didn't die, did she?
I'm pretty sure she died.
I need to rewatch. But my biggest complaint about the movie was the people. We're the type of people that were complaining because they were all saying this wasn't even Kirby influence. You know, they didn't take anything from the Kirby, right? They didn't do anything like Kirby did. Well, here's the thing, right? Those are the people that never knew Kirby existed until Stan died. Now that Stan is gone, you know, everyone's fighting for, oh, Kirby was a great guy. He was, but you never noticed him when Stan was around. Like, no one really talked about that.
I think plenty of people
like
did.
Not a lot of
the
MCU
majority
fans
of people didn't. No, not MCU fans for sure.
Like while Stan was around, nobody complained that it wasn't Stan's vision because nothing was Stan's vision.
I think a lot of people did, but nobody. But a lot of what they took says that Eternals was very good by Jack Kirby. Nobody says, you know, what was one of Jack Kirby's best runs was Eternals. From what I hear it's like one of his least regarded runs. You know what I mean?
It didn't sell. Like when I was talking with Jim Shooter, like he was like, "Yo, like I'm getting Kirby back. He's bringing all these ideas," and then he's like, "Oh, he like literally copy and pasted what he did with the New Gods,
right?
Which didn't sell in DC, so it didn't sell in Marvel. Kirby was ahead of the game. He was a great artist. Everything looked great in both stories, Eternals and New Gods. It's just he didn't have that vision, that the way to deliver his ideas."
Right. Well, he was a little all over the place.
Yeah.
Like what I read of his New God stuff, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I think it's pretty badass. But it is like he lacks focus. You know what I mean?
It wasn't like mainstreamed.
Right, for sure.
Right. But that's, I guess, what Stan was for a lot of the times, just like put those ideas to paper. We got John Thomas.
John Thomas.
What up?
We're just going to use all Big Herm's lines tonight. I might even impersonate that Verno guy that he's always impersonating.
Copy. Yo, that was a funny video. But we're not really here to trash Jack Kirby. But I do think that it would be cool to like do like a Marvel creator spotlight, even like in the Triskelion, you know, because when you were walking down, so all like the fallen like Shield agents, you could have like all like the comic creators, like the big ones.
Oh, sure.
You know.
Right. Have like the world's most badass comic shop there too. That would be something to show. Have like people give a little like almost like a museum for comic books there, where people could be like, oh, this is where all that came from. Get to know a little bit about the comic side of things for sure.
I remember at Awesome Con when they were celebrating Detective Comics 1000, they had like all the costumes across many different like Batman movies. I might have a few of the pictures. I could send them to you after, but it was like so cool, like seeing all the props, seeing like old Batman comics. Like I've never ever seen a first appearance of Batman until that day. It was right there. I was like, you know, on display. I was like, that was just the coolest thing ever. I think doing that, like that Marvel Comics 1, that was retcon like Marvel Comics 1000, that would be dope too. You know, in AF-15, like a mint, if they could buy it, they have the money. They could buy the highest graded copy of that. And
for sure.
But I hope they kept it raw and not integrated, because it would, in my opinion, that would just speak more to like actual comic fans. What up, 62? What's going on, brother? Good to see you in here. Thank you so much for joining us. I would be intrigued to see this later on when they do get the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, because obviously you can put in the Baxter Building, you can do more space stuff with Galactus, you can go to a different part of New York, have the X-Mansion in there,
the Danger Room, and the X-Mansion, but the Danger Room, you could do crazy stuff with that.
You know how trippy this looking at Cerebro would be? Like, think about it. You put on the helmet, and then all of a sudden, like, the screens, like 10 widescreen TVs all put together, you know?
That would be
imagine
cool.
Watching a football game on that, or like imagine watching a movie on that. Imagine watching Alien on that. That would be trippy. Ooh, that'd be dope. Mm-hmm. But they wouldn't do that, you know, because it's Marvel. But that would be dope. I am a fan. You know, another thing that could be dope is going to Titan, I guess, and seeing like kind of the wreckage, being there for that ride. You know, that's where I think Thanos Quest could like kind of start. You know, you can kind of like see Thanos, get the gauntlet and all that. That would be dope. Definitely exploring more of Asgard, you know, with all those relics. You know, you can go down to like the prisoner's cell. You can see some like holographic, like Loki or whatever people like in that jail.
That little like trophy room that you see.
Odin's trophy room.
Yeah, that would be dope.
And then with the Destroyer, it was Harry Potter was weird because like, once you were going through Hogwarts, they really didn't let you go through everything because the ride took you through Hogwarts, I guess. You know, and you're on like a broomstick. Like it was told the way like you would be like first person flying.
Right.
Which I think that's like using Thor's hammer would be great, or using like a spaceship in Guardians of the Galaxy. That would be pretty spot on.
I like what six Deuce says. Have an adult themed area with Hellfire Club.
Am I invited?
Yeah, right.
I would love that like brainwashing from Emma Frost. Like if you read Trial of Magneto, one of the funner parts of that series was when Captain America showed up and Emma Frost completely like painted like a beach or like a pool and she was like in a bikini. I was like, that was dope. I would love her to like kind of do that at that club. That would be dope.
You could do like a similar thing that I'm thinking of, like a Mysterio type thing where you walk into a place and it looks like one thing and then it dissolves and you realize you're in this totally different area. Then again,
you're really
Sony would steal all that stuff.
You're really in Hammer Industries.
Right.
That would be dope, kind of recapping Iron Man's origin. What else could we do? We didn't even talk about Captain Marvel, but no one cares about that movie.
We didn't.
And no one does. Do for Captain Marvel? I think
you could have a blockbuster. That's the best part of the Captain Marvel movie, probably, when they go to Blockbuster.
I don't know. I don't know if we would have I don't think Captain Marvel was like kind of meant for that because we already have a plane. You know, she doesn't have too many gimmicky things. You know what I mean? Right. I don't know. Maybe there would be like a cool little Kree roller coaster. I guess right. Like taking you through like their like kind of like the initial base on Hala. You know, or even like that training simulation that she did where she met up with that dude. You know, you step in, it like kind of takes you through everything.
Right. Yeah, they would have to pretend that is worth doing and just do it just to include her.
I would have a much better time in the Red Room than I would with Captain Marvel.
That's what I'm talking about.
I would love to be in the Red Room. That'd be dope. Kind of seeing the fight simulation, seeing Black Widow, even seeing Yelena, I guess Taskmaster.
You could have like a wax museum thing too, where you actually see everybody. That would be cool. Just
yeah, 100%. Even like you can do like I know it's like kind of gimmicky, but for like little Cage and like they have like Build-A-Bear, you can like build a hero, you know. You know, like kind of customize your own stuffed bear or stuffed superhero. That'd be dope. I think kids would like that. But I think we covered about everything.
Right. I'm literally sitting here flipping through the movies and trying to think of stuff. And it's like, I'm
like, well, like, I don't know. I feel like the helicarriers would be fine. The Tri-Scale would be a good gift shop. Good way to pull up. That's where I would put that comic book store or that comic shop And that'd be a great way for people to get into comics too. You know, you go in, you have like all the essential stories, you have a bunch of statues.
Mm-hmm.
Even you can do like a little Lego verse type thing.
For sure.
You
Have a
know,
bunch of omnibus, dude. Because I think a lot of people don't realize, like, oh, I can just pick up this big book that has this whole
everything,
story in it. You know what I
right?
mean?
Or like
That's really
those
what got me into
ultimate
comics as
character
an adult.
guides. You know,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, for me, Omnibuy were always just kind of there. I know they're more popular now because when I was first getting into the hobby, you know, like no one really carried omnibus. Like my shop just started carrying them, and I
Oh,
guess that's like through
I
the
don't buy them
demand.
from the comic shop, man. Then you're gonna spend like $120 on the damn
Yeah,
things. In stock trade or whatever that one that Gem's
organic
always
price,
promoting.
organic
Cheap
price,
graphic novels.
cheap
Organic,
graphic
what is it?
novels, organic price books.
Never been there. But yeah, dude,
They're
I don't.
good.
It's like I like to support my local comic shop, and I do like probably more than most. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
spending a stupid amount of money, but I'm not gonna buy omnibus and hardcover from my LCS. That's
I've
too crazy.
It depends on the omnibus because like I remember there was one I like, absolutely could not wait for. Um, but then like all the others I've ordered online. So like I know I'm not gonna read it for like 6 months to a year.
Right. I always
Yo,
say
what
I'm gonna read everything. What up,
what's up?
Sheena? What
A
up?
hologram Jeff Goldblum shows you around. I feel like definitely having something including like John Favreau and Happy would be dope.
For
You know,
sure.
kind of packing up Stark Mansion. You know, at the end you can like do that scene from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Hmm. I like what I can't remember who said it now, but just having like the collectors area. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Which I mean, even beyond that, like not just what the collector has, but just a bunch of statues,
I
a
think that was
bunch where you
Bobby.
could walk through and like all the crazy stuff that you'd want to see.
Right. You can definitely do some like Peggy Carter stuff. You can do some stuff with like the Howling Commandos with Captain America's World War One days. I guess that would be a cool ride, kind of doing the train. Yo, why didn't I think of that? I
Yo, I
just
think
did.
you just did.
I just did. Like, why didn't I think of that earlier? You know, that would be super fun going through Hydra on the train there, and then I don't know where you would go. Where you would go from there? What's going on, Chet? I'm glad everyone's here now that we have no more ideas.
Right.
But I'm like trying to look at your sets. I'm like, could this work? Could this work? You can do the highway chase somewhere in New York. I know it didn't take place in New York, but you can do that highway chase in From Winter Soldier.
That was it, New York?
Was it? Oh yeah, it was. The
Probably
Triskelion was in
was.
New York.
Yeah.
Oh no, was the Triskelion in DC? I don't know.
I
Not
don't
like I
know.
live in
That's
DC.
like
I
that's
live in
another
DC.
one of the best scenes in the MCU. I
You
think
can
it's
go.
like
Oh, you can go to nowhere. Yo, that's where you would put the collector's places in nowhere.
that'd be cool.
Yo, thank you, Bobby. Should put Bobby on this show. You can Ragnarok. Go to the fighting pit.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Like, well, is it
Going
right?
against the Gladiator Hulk.
Right. I'm trying to think of what somebody in the chat tell us. Like, what is the name of that planet that has the devil's anus on it, where they do the gladiator pit? Trying to think of
Oh,
it.
it was the Contest of Champions joint. Oh
Right.
my
Right.
gosh, what was the Grandmaster is on?
Somebody's got to know.
Somebody's got to know. I'm trying to think too. It's on because once someone says it,
Sakar.
Sakar.
There you go. Thank you, Eric.
It's on Sakar. Thank you so much, Eric. What else is there? Like, what other villains could we do? Like a Hela? We do like a Hela joint.
They're all dead now. You think Hella's dead? I think she's alive.
I think
Think
she's
she's
alive. I think she'll come
right?
back kicking.
I
I
think she
think she'll
will
come
too.
back kicking too. I'm specking on her still. Specular. You can do, I guess, Multiverse of Madness. You can do something trippy if that comes out when that comes out. Obviously we're not doing anything with Venom or Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think of like other Easter eggs.
Other villains.
If
Like
patrons get being Doctor, yeah, but we don't have Doctor Doom because that would be dope to go to Latveria and do all this shit. That would be super dope.
mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, I think we're out of ideas. And we kind of covered everything, food bases and everything.
Right.
You know, but food wise, you could do like each kind of quarter, right? Because I'm thinking like they could almost
the shawarma joint's the best idea that we came up with. That's a no-brainer. Go eat shawarma. You got to do it's at the end of the whole place. You're all tired. You eat shawarma.
right.
Sushi joint for Shang-Chi.
Do like a
Comic
whole
shop. We nailed it.
dining hall with Vogelstag. That'd be dope. Oh,
Chet
it's
says
something.
the Brood.
The
Nope, they're coming.
They're coming.
They might not do the Brood just
I could see
because
them in
it's
the
so
animated
similar to the
series.
Scroll. You know what I mean?
Can have an Ant-Man room where everything is too big to make it seem small. Yeah, I think we covered that one too. I don't want to do nothing with the Brood. Yeah. I was just thinking, I'd rather do something with the Shi'ar Empire because they're always moving. They're always trying to like piss someone off, you know. But if we're in space, I'm sticking with the Guardians, or I'm sticking with the Kree. I would love to be part of the Kree just because I know that like I'd be safe. I would want to be on Nova. Fuck that. They're dead.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, well, there's a handful of locations that they go to in Guardians of the Galaxy, like where it opens up and you've got Star-Lord walking around kicking that animal.
Yeah. You can do that kind of opening scene. You could definitely do like a whole thing where you're on Nova Prime, where you're kind of in that marketplace where Gamora attacked him. I think that place where he went to deliver the orb in the first place, that could be a cool little jewelry store. We can have like Marvel themed jewelry.
That's a good one.
Like I have Black Panther cufflinks. Don't ask me why, but I have Black Panther cufflinks, and I think they're like right here, too. Yeah, they're like right here. I can like. I used to have a job where I needed to dress up, and I was like, you know what, that would be dope. It's just having some Black Panther cufflinks. It's out of Wakanda tie. I don't know where it is now. Oh, here it is. It's right here. Yeah. So I had like a cuff shirt. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know.
Fancy pants.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I had to do. Is I had to talk to lawyers, and I was like, you know what, let me just be a nerd. I had a Star Wars tie. I had like a Yoda tie. I had 2 Star Wars ties. I had a Spider-Man tie.
My man saying Herm says sushi is Japanese. Is that not what's Shang-Chi? Chinese?
Chinese. Oh yeah, Kung Fu. Master Kung Fu. We can have a Chinese joint.
I'm sure they eat some sushi in China somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, but the lo mein would be great. Or the Peking duck.
I don't know the difference. I'll be honest.
Oh, an Ultron room where everything is a schematic for his perfect body. That would be dope. Fantastic Car roller coaster. That would be sitting on the MCU yet, but it's coming. I know. All these ideas.
What's that?
Parachute where you're coming down. You're like, I'm Mary Poppins, yo.
The city falling out of the sky in Age of Ultron.
Oh, Sokovia.
Sokovia, yeah.
That would be. I don't know if I'd want to be on Sokovia, but that'd be a cool roller coaster.
Right. It could be like the giant drop.
Well, because it's on a
shape
mountain.
it like you know what I mean, like
it's all rising. It's all rising.
I got stuck on that ride
at
Six Flags when I was a kid. It started hailing. We went to the giant drop. Takes us to the top with like 3, 2, 1, and it just went down like a half inch. Then we sat up there for 2 hours in the rain.
Can there be a kissing booth? I mean, there's already one for me and Polaris, so we already established that. Everyone else can have their own kissing booth, and you can like think of Chris Evans, whichever one you prefer. Colossus, Skydrop, yo, fastball special when we get mutants. You can definitely do fastball special. Yeah, see, Bobby knows. Polaris is in the kissing booth. But if anyone has any more ideas, feel free to comment them down below. I think we've pretty much covered all of our bases, considering it's weird because at first when I sat down news, I'm like, we could have like 20,000 options. But then I was like, we kind of don't have 20,000 options.
Well, there's a trillion options. It's just, how would you fit them all? Like, if you wanted to make a realistic thing, how would you get them all in one area and make it doable?
Definitely think like the 4 Wakanda, the Shield, Shield headquarters going in like the Triskelion, the helicarrier, and all that would be dope. The New York you gotta do Wakanda, you gotta do Asgard. I think that's really it. Because even New York, right? You can kind of like flip through, right, and like hop on like a ride to, like hop on a dragon and go to like where Shang-Chi is, go up there, you know.
The dragon roller coaster, that's a no-brainer too, for sure.
Yeah, that is a no-brainer. Yo, what up, Steve? But Verno, what do you have coming out?
I just dropped right before we got on. I put up a single issue video on the one that came out today. I keep messing it up. X Lives of Wolverine #2. So I put that up. I dropped a Saga episode last week to make sure you guys check out if you didn't, with Rock and Rob and Nick and Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart. That was solid. Had a great conversation with Big Herm, Big Worm, Big Perm, and Fable and Steph. We didn't invite Brandon. We screwed up. We missed the best member of the Bad Batch, but we had a great conversation.
As a mailman, I thought it got delayed, and I was like, "It's all right. He's still training, so I could excuse it."
Dude, I mean, I'm all over I don't even know exactly what I'm doing this weekend for the podcast because my training schedule is wild right now. This is the first time it's been tricky for me to actually get something done for an episode, so I don't even know exactly what's coming out this weekend.
Right. My tip is I always record at night. Like that's why I do one live show. Then everything else I just knock out at night with Steph and anyone else we're doing. Unless we got Creators Corner, then I actually got to make time for that.
Right.
Oh yeah, you did miss Manny though. You did miss Manny. Yeah,
I did.
Absolutely miss Manny. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I know this is kind of a last minute show. We usually come out at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Things happen. We made up for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's topic. I don't know what we're doing for next week, but we have archives coming out Friday. We're going to be doing House of M. That was led by Michael. That's going to be a really good show. And then we have Roy Thomas coming over to the channel in, I believe, a week or two. So I'm going to have to double check that. But other than that, that's it. Weekly wrap up every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. From here, we're going to go hang out with Big Herm, Fable, and Link today at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about some Battlestar Galactica. So I'm excited for that. Anyway, you guys, happy new comic book day, everyone. Station.